Trustee Tion,
Student Trustee Ava.
two. Okay. Student Trustee Presta,
Here.
Trustee Lee,
Here.
Trustee Cho,
Here.
Trustee Tejada,
Here.
Vice President Walker,
Here.
President Gallegos.
Here. All right, and we do have a report out of closed session. The board unanimously voted to approve the student stipulated expulsion per Ed Code 48918 per one case. And with next, we got item number 9, approval of the agenda. A motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 10, approval of the minutes for board meeting minutes, October 21st, 2025.
Move to approve the minutes from October 21st, 2025.
Second.
Abstain.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would abstain actually because I wasn't here.
Marty abstains.
Okay.
Noted. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to 11A, the board report. We'll start with our student board members, student trustees. From Westmore High School, Shumi.
So, last week we had Halloween, so Westmore had a Halloween Spirit Week, and this year we had pretty good involvement, not only from a lot of students, but also from a lot of staff, and everyone seemed to enjoy it a lot, so that was really good. Upcoming this Friday, we have Food Fair, which is a chance for clubs to be able to fundraise, and next Saturday, so on the 15th, we have Winter Ball coming up, and we recently had our volleyball and tennis senior nights, and multiple tennis players qualified for CCS from our school, so that's really good. This Thursday and Friday, we have botany and biology field trips coming up. We also have 8th grade tours going on. This Friday too, I think in collaboration with Skyline College, we have CTE pathways. So like there's like going to be like a student panel from our school presenting at Skyline College. Progress report 2 finished last Friday on Halloween. There's going to be a math competition that's taking place tomorrow after school at Westmore. It's the AMC. And I think there's also a couple students from other schools within our district that's coming to take the test as well. And today we had the senior panoramic during 4th period. Thank you.
Thank you, Shuming. All right, from Jefferson High School, Ava.
Last week we had our homecoming rally for our football team and the homecoming game, which our football team won that game. There was also the following Saturday there was a homecoming dance. The theme was glow in the dark, so we called it Glowco. It was very fun. I went. There was a robotics tournament this Saturday there was a robotics tournament. Cross country had their last meet. Their season is done. Volleyball also had their senior night and their final game against Westmore. So their season is done. For Halloween, there was an advisory Halloween door decoration contest and a trick-or-treating at each door that was decorated. Yesterday, we had our senior panoramic. Progress reports are coming out next week. A football game this Friday is their senior night, also their last game against Mills High School. There's a student equity team first meeting, but it was only about race. And there was currently only one bathroom open for females because there is an issue on campus with smoking, so they closed down the C-wing bathrooms, so there's only one bathroom for girls. Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. And Elias not here, right? Okay, so we're moving on over to Dominic from Oceana High School.
Okay. At Oceana, 2 weeks ago, we had our annual Halloween Fest with the Spirit Week leading up to it. It was super fun. We had a lot of engagement from the community, as well as Oceana students. Winter sports just started: soccer, basketball, and wrestling. Those are off pretty strong, I think, today. And tennis PALs at Hillsdale and San Mateo happened. We're having open house tomorrow from, I think, 6 to 7:30 p.m. And also we've had an ongoing hygiene drive to provide, community members with hygiene products. And that's ending this Friday.
Thank you, Dominic. All right. I don't think Johnny's here either. So we're going to be moving along to our board now, starting with Andy.
Sure, not a whole lot here other than, again, always just great to hear the student reports on the activities going on campus. A couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to be able to tour schools with Superintendent Presta. We hit Terra Nova in the morning, where we hit a handful of the English classes. And then we went over to Westmore, where we got there in time for Fletch time. So it was actually really great to be able to walk around the classrooms just to see what's happening during Fletch time throughout the campus. And then made it over to Jeff shortly thereafter, just in time for the rally. So we got a little bit of everything that particular Friday morning. So it was good. And I would heartily recommend that each of us continue to do this over the course of the year, to spend a morning or afternoon hitting our campuses, just to be able to see what's going on and really get a feel for the great work that we are doing. So that's what I've got.
Thank you, Andy. Marty,
Nothing to report.
nothing to report. All right. Let's go, Rosie.
So last night, Trustee Lee and I were at the County Committee on School District Organization meeting, which governs anything having to do with reorganization of school districts. So not much it was just an annual meeting, but very important still. And last week, I'm also on the county, I'm a commissioner with the County Commission on the Status of Women, where we address issues affecting women and girls in the county. And we hosted what we call a listen and learn, where we go out to the community and hear from the community on some of their issues, because we also make recommendations to the Board of Supervisors. And we'll be hosting one of those here in the district office in February. So I'd like to invite all of you to check it out. And that's all I have. It was great to have a full house, actually.
Yeah, thank you, Rosie. Right.
I had a hard time finding a parking space because there's all these voters here. Congratulations to them.
Yes.
And I hope everyone had a chance to vote. I attended a student advisory meeting last night. I expect great things from them. And as promised 2 weeks ago, last Tuesday night, I went to senior night for the Terra Nova boys water polo team. They defeated the Cougars of Half Moon Bay. I believe it was 15-14. And I was glad to be able to get out and do a little something on campus. That's all I got.
Thank you, Charette. And I unfortunately don't have a lot to share with you guys. I've been busy away from my board duties. So with that being said, we will move on to our superintendent report. Ms. Tony Presta.
Thank you. Yeah, after the last month of so many community events, it's been a little quiet these last couple of weeks. So what I want to do is just really acknowledge, it was really, really nice to have Trustee Lee with me going through the schools. And that's one of the things that I'm so grateful for is our school board, who is really active in our schools. It was a really good day. I'm going to let you know about some things that are coming up. So next week, actually tomorrow night, is Oceana's open house. As we heard, Jefferson's open house is Thursday night. They all start at 6. Next week, Terra Nova's open house is Wednesday the 12th, and then Westmore's is Thursday the 13th. So those are open houses, which are for prospective 8th graders, and it's a good time for students and families to learn about the different schools, because there's really something different at each of the schools for them. Also, I wanted to announce that there's a school site board meeting next Thursday at Terra Nova. So it's after school at 3:45 on November 13th at Terra Nova. And I also want to say that the student trustees are having a great year, as Trustee Walker shared, and they have chosen sort of the areas that they're going to be focusing on this year to kind of do some action projects. And so I'm looking forward to what they come up with. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Presta. All right. Are there item C, 11C, board subcommittee reports? Or is there anything before that?
Excuse me, President Gallegos, do you want to give our student trustee from Thornton a chance to
Oh,
report?
didn't even see you pop up over there. I'm sorry. How you doing? Good to see you. Okay.
Thornton report.
Yeah, let's get our Thornton report.
Okay. So we're gonna have, so yes, last week we had a pumpkin competition, and all students in each homeroom got to decorate a pumpkin. And we're gonna have a few other field trips. The first week of December, we're gonna go to outdoor ed with the 5th graders, and we're gonna go and we're just gonna like take care of the 5th graders, and we're just gonna have some fun. And we also have a field trip next week, I think, and it's basically just a museum. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And I just touch base on the outdoor ed thing real quick. I got to do that when I was in high school. So go back as a counselor. So if you do get a chance to participate in that and take full advantage of being a good role model for those kids out there, they're a lot of fun. Now we'll move on to our board subcommittee report. Are there anything to report out from our subcommittees? Okay. All right. Moving on to 11D, AFT Local 1481 report. Ms. Monica Casey. Usually you have quick access. You're like right there.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to thank all those who were on the freeway areas, encouraging people to get out the vote. I will not, since we're so close to this, I won't say what we wanted them to vote as. That was a big thing that we've been doing. We've been really trying to encourage people to get out to vote. So that's been on our minds a lot. In addition to that, I will be going to the Council of Classified Employees President's Retreat this coming up weekend. And in December, I'll be going to the ECTK12 President's Retreat, since we represent both classified and certificated. And I'm starting to have meetings with people for the future leadership of AFT 1481. So that's coming. That's it.
Thank you. All right. Items 12 are for information. Items 13, consent agenda items. If the board does not wish to discuss or remove any of the items, I'd like to call for a motion to approve consent.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And moment we've all been waiting for, I believe. We have public comment. Item number 14. Is there any public comment?
We do not have any public comment on non-agendized items. However, we have public comment to be heard during the public hearing at item 15.
Thank you for the clarification. Moving on to item 15A1, Summit Shasta presentation for charter renewal hearing. Executive Director of Summit Shasta, Anita Ravi.
Thank you, folks. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Good evening, members of the Jefferson Union High School District School Board and Superintendent Presta. My name is Anita Ravi. I am the Executive Director of Summit Shasta High School. I'm also a parent, a community member, and an educator with over 25 years of experience working with innovative public schools and systems in California and across the country. I'm here tonight to present to you the ways in which Summit Shasta is providing a unique and high-quality high school option for families in the greater Daly City area, and to ask for your vote in favor of a 5-year renewal of our charter petition. Our mission at Summit is to collectively prepare a diverse community of young people with the skills, the knowledge, and the habits to attain economic empowerment and a success in a chosen concrete next step toward a fulfilled life. At Summit Shasta, we are living up to our mission by providing the program and preparation for all students to succeed at a 4-year college or university. Here are our results on college readiness. While we know that a fulfilled life includes preparation for career, technical education, and two-year certification programs, we believe that it is our job to provide four-year college as an option for every student so that they have this opportunity as a choice. And these are our results. 100% of our students are enrolled in an A through G course of study. 100% of our graduates are accepted to a four-year college. 100% of our students take 5 AP classes while they're with us. And Summit alumni complete college at 2 times the national average. Our focus on high academic standards within our core classes and AP for all translate into results on statewide assessments as well. As you can see, Summit Shasta 11th graders last year outperformed their peers statewide on SBAC in both ELA and math. And we know students feel a sense of belonging at Shasta as evidenced by the student satisfaction data that you see here. In our classrooms, we deeply value fostering learning mindsets with young people. We also do this with our adults. Our teachers participate in data-driven professional development throughout the year to continue to evolve their teaching practice to meet the needs of students. Teachers also receive regular coaching and career trajectory opportunities within Summit Public Schools, leading to greater retention and the growth of the next generation of school leaders. Here are just some of the four-year colleges and universities to which our students are admitted. Many choose a 2-year community college pathway. Some choose to go into the workforce or military. And you're going to hear from one of our alumni tonight. Here are our amazing young people and our teachers. As a Daly City public charter school, the students we serve closely mirror the demographics of Jefferson Union High School District. 34% qualify for free or reduced lunch program, 8% have an individualized education plan or an IEP, and 5% are English learners. Our ethnic and racial diversity are one of our greatest strengths, and we are proud to represent the demographics of the district. So what makes our program unique? These are the 4 components of the Summit Shasta educational model: mentoring, project-based learning, self-direction, and expeditions. All 4 elements come together to provide a high-quality education, leading each student to a concrete chosen next step after high school. Mentoring supports the development of the whole child and provides the one-on-one touch point that all young people need and deserve. Project time is our core class time where students develop specific academic skills and content understanding over time through hands-on, high-quality curriculum. Self-directed learning time is where students really acquire the skills of organization, of self-monitoring, of project management. And self-directed learning is a vehicle for students to learn the habits of success that they will need to succeed beyond high school. And finally, our expeditions program is a unique set of experiences where students get to explore and pursue their interests. So at Summit, we believe young people need to be exposed to and explore experiences and options in high school that help them learn about and pursue their interests beyond high school. So 3 times a year, we pause the academic schedule, and for 2 weeks, immerse themselves in courses and experiences that speak to their interests and their. These experiences are as the students we serve and include pathways in medical sciences, in STEM, in the arts, and in the environment. And it is through expeditions that students really try out different disciplines and professions to determine what their concrete next step will be after high school. So really the best way to understand how all four elements of this program come together is through our students. So at the end of senior year, all seniors present their 4-year high school journey and their concrete chosen next step in life to their families and to the community. So today, meet Tiffany. Tiffany graduated from Shasta in June and is currently attending San Francisco State, majoring in cell and molecular biology. There's a lot going on Tiffany's poster here, so let me sort of narrate her journey for you. One thing you will notice about Tiffany is that, like most ninth graders, she arrived in high school not really knowing what she wanted to do. The strengths that she focused on with her mentor in 9th and 10th grade really set her up for the consistency and commitment in 11th and 12th grade. As a 10th grader, she tried out an expedition as a teaching assistant, which was really not her first choice, but that experience, she learned, in fact, that teaching was going to be the career she wants to pursue. So through trial and error, supported by mentoring, Tiffany is now pursuing her concrete next step, supported by her family and her community. So as you're going to hear in a minute from my parents, we are really proud to say that we are fulfilling our mission at Summit Shasta every day. Through academics, mentorship, and real-world learning experiences, students leave Shasta High School with a sense of purpose about where they're headed, path toward a fulfilled. Giving us the opportunity to share more about our program and our results. We look forward to receiving a 5-year renewal so we can continue to serve our community into the next decade. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Keeps cutting out yet. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was just texting. Do you know if we can get another mic for I'm looking at Corrine or the people in the back. Do you know, can we replace that mic? Pardon? The button?
Okay, that was me. It's
Oh.
too sensitive.
Was it okay?
I'm not used to such a sensitive
Okay,
mic.
Anita. I was like, oh my goodness, our
No, it's
technology's
me.
not working for her.
Usually have to go like that on our mic.
And
cool.
the people that I know that you have people prepared, are these the people that put in public comment cards? Or are they part of your presentation?
No, these are the students and parents that put in public comment cards.
Wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Thanks.
So before we open it up to that section, to the next item, does anybody have any?
I think we should probably just save the comments for after the public hearing. Yeah.
That sounds fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we are going to open this next item up for public hearing, the Summit Shasta High School Charter Renewal Petition for 2026, 2031. There you go. Okay. All right.
So I'm going to call up the individual speakers, and Ms. Ravi said that you would limit your comments to 2 minutes, is what she said. Okay, so if we get a timer going to help them. And so I'm going to call up the first speaker, Nicole Vargas.
Good evening, board members. My name is Nicole Vargas Guevara, and I'm a proud parent of 2 daughters currently attending Summit Shasta, one in 9th grade and one in 11th. I'm here to express my strong support for the renewal of Shasta's charter. Summit Shasta's mission is to prepare students not only for college, but to become thoughtful, contributing members of society, grounded in purpose, financial independence, community, and well-being. These values aren't just aspirational. They're embedded in everyday learning, from innovative mentor groups to project-based academics and enriching expeditions. What makes Shasta truly special is its commitment to supporting the whole child, both academically and emotionally. My daughters have experienced this firsthand. The teaching and support staff have created a nurturing environment where they feel seen, heard, and challenged. The school's focus on self-direction and personalized learning has helped my older daughter grow into a confident, capable young adult, and my younger daughter is already thriving on the same path. At a time when students are navigating increasing pressures given the challenges of the digital age, Shasta provides something incredibly valuable: stability, structure, and community rooted in care and purpose. The staff consistently go above and beyond, not just to teach, but to support each student's full journey. Summit Shasta is doing the kind of work we need more of: I respectfully urge you to renew its charter for another 5 years so it can continue to serve and uplift students and families for years to come. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your comment. Next speaker is Ariana Padilla.
Just 2 years ago, I found myself completing college applications in the Shasta gym alongside my closest friends and teachers. I'm a sophomore, and now I'm a sophomore at the #1 public university in the nation and all of North America, double majoring in education and cognitive science. Hello, my name is Ariana Padilla. I'm currently a UC Berkeley student and proud Summit Shasta alumni, born and raised in Daly City. I can say that without a doubt, the scaffolding that was provided to me throughout my high school career gave me the confidence to pursue my concrete next step, four-year university. As a first-generation student, I always had a strong ambition to want more for myself and my family. Not only did Shasta provide me with resources to stimulate my intellectual curiosities, they helped me explore career options through their expeditions program, gain leadership experience through club crafting, and most importantly, provided support through their mentoring, always acknowledging my potential for success. As someone presently studying educational systems, Shasta is a prime example of a student-centered pedagogy focused on providing equity through the development of cognitive skills using interdisciplinary learning and knowledge acquisition. Contextualizing my formative high school experiences in the now, it seems surreal to see how secondary school set a foundation for my day-to-day interactions in the present moment. The habits and lines of thinking instilled in me, such as daily goal setting, critical thinking, and even things people wouldn't consider, such as technological literacy. In my classes, I plan ahead, acknowledging deadlines, practice self-advocacy by meeting with my teachers during office hours, and self-direct studying of class content. All practices I carried on from my time at Shasta. In sum, the Summit curriculum and community have allowed me to flourish in both an interpersonal setting and especially an academic setting. Thank you for listening and considering what this school continues to make possible for students like me.
Thank you for your comment. Maurice Bell.
Hi, good evening. My name is Maurice Tuyasasopo Bell, father of Danny Reese Bell, 10th grader at Summit Shasta. I know my time is short, so I'll get right to the 3 reasons why I strongly encourage you to renew Shasta's charter. First and foremost, it's Shasta's learning model. When my daughter started in 9th grade, she was quiet, shy kid who waited for direction. Today, she sets her own goals, she tracks her progress, and drives her own learning outcomes. She advocates for herself. She reflects. She takes responsibility. That's not just accidental. It's baked into how Shasta operates. Shasta's approach to personalized, student-driven learning builds real agency in these kids. It's in a critical time of their growth where students are learning how to learn and becoming young adults. We don't just need students that can memorize content. We need young people who can think independently, navigate complexity, question assumptions, and make sound decisions. Most high schools, even when they do great work, can lean too heavily on checklist experiences for learning. And Shasta pushes kids to build internal motivation and critical thinking, skills that will matter long after grades and test scores fade. And frankly, society needs more of that. So the second reason, schools like Shasta keep education systems honest. It feels like every year we hear about budget cuts and trade-offs hitting our schools. Families are frustrated. You all know this. The trust in the promise of public education can feel shaky. Shasta is proof that strong, student-centered public education is possible. The academic results show it, the college outcomes show it, and the lived experiences of families like mine confirm it. Not every student thrives in a big traditional setting. Some kids need to be seen, known, challenged, and supported in a smaller environment. Offering a choice like Shasta isn't a threat to the system. It makes the system better. It pushes us all, district schools, charters, parents, to keep raising the bar. There's not one path to success for kids, and I think we have the responsibility to ensure that the right paths are available for the right experiences for the right students. Third, and I will admit this is selfish, I have an 8th grader who has been counting down the days until she can join her sister at Shasta. So she knows I'm here now talking to you all. And if Shasta doesn't get funded, she will blame me personally. So please spare me the lifelong shame. Thank you for your time and your consideration and thinking about what this school means to our kids, our families, and our community.
Thank you. Johnny Mazuritsky.
Good evening, Jefferson Union High School District School Board members and Superintendent Presta. My name is Johnny Mazuritsky, and I'm in the 12th grade at Summit Shasta High School. Summit Shasta's renewal matters to me because of the connections I have made in the last 4 years with both my peers and mentors. I'm here today to ask you to vote yes for a 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta. At first, I didn't want to go to Summit Shasta because none of my friends were going to be attending. This perspective, however, quickly changed after I was introduced to Summit Shasta's mentoring and college access support systems. I was able to have 2 people personally oversee my journey throughout high school and guide me to best prepare myself for a life after high school. As daunting of a task that as college application process seems to be for most people, Summit Shasta takes that challenge and turns it into a cakewalk by having 100% of students meet both the UC and CSU admissions requirements. Summit Shasta not only prioritizes college readiness, but also helps students explore their interests outside of the classroom with a unique experience called Expeditions. Expeditions allow students to discover their true passion, which could potentially kickstart a career that would not have been possible in your everyday high school. Tomorrow, myself and the other seniors are having college application night, where we finally hit submit on our college applications that we have worked on so hard for the past few months. Instead of being a date that is filled with dread and fear of not being prepared enough, we celebrate this night because we know we are ready for college, and that Summit Shasta has given us all the tools necessary to succeed. We need Summit Shasta because it is not only preparing students for academic success, but is also producing the leaders of America's future. I would like to once again ask you to please vote yes on Summit Shasta's 5-year renewal. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I think it's Sue Wynn. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Good evening, Jefferson Union High School District Board members and Superintendent Presta. My name is Sway Wynn, and I'm a current sophomore at Summit Shasta High School. And Summit Shasta's renewal matters to me because of the strong community and spirit that we have built at our school. I'm here today to ask you to vote yes on a 5-year charter renewal for Summit Shasta. Summit Shasta is a place where every student is seen, supported, and challenged. The bonds that we create with our teachers, our mentors, and each other are the foundations of our success. Summit Shasta provides a variety of opportunities for us to grow both academically and personally. For example, the Expeditions program is unique. It allows us to dive deep into subjects like robotics, coding, or filmmaking, providing hands-on and real-world experience that you can't get in a typical classroom. In fact, the supportive and initiative-driven environment at Shasta is what inspired me to give back to the very community that I grew up in. Over the past year, I have dedicated over 230 volunteer hours working with the middle school right here in the JUHSD district. Drawing on that experience, I recently created a youth-led tutoring program to help younger students succeed with the help of JUHSD students and Summit Shasta students. This is what Summit Shasta empowers us to do. It teaches us to be leaders who take actions and give us confidence to pursue and achieve anything we set our mind to. The foundation of all of this is our unique curriculum, and unlike traditional schedules, Summit Shasta utilizes a personalized approach that balances both self-directed learning with collaborative work. We spend time mastering core content through hands-on projects and applying that knowledge through project-based learning cycles. This model ensures that we are all moving toward college readiness, but at a pace that is effective for us as individuals. Our admins work directly with students and mentors to chart our academic futures, often helping us access more rigorous coursework available. They also help facilitate enrollment in college courses or advanced placement option to ensure that we are building a competitive transcript and are truly prepared for the demands of university level work. So I ask you one last time to please vote yes and grant Summit Shasta its 5-year charter renewal. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Elise Chung.
Good evening, Jefferson Union High School District School Board members and Superintendent Presta. My name is Elise Chung, and I'm currently a junior at Summit Shasta High School. This renewal matters to me because of the immense opportunities I've gained as a result of my time at Summit Shasta and the connections I've made with my coach and teammates that have shaped me into who I am today. I'm here today to ask you to vote yes for a 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta. Coming into high school with barely any extracurricular activities, I chose Summit Shasta because of its close-knit community and the promise of a more personalized education. Since entering Shasta, the flexibility of this school has stood out to me the most. With dedicated time for self-directed learning, I've been able to explore subjects beyond the traditional classroom and take multiple college courses at local community colleges, something I've never imagined doing as a high school student. This freedom to learn at my own pace has not only challenged me academically, but also allowed me to discover what I'm passionate about and where I want my future to go. I've achieved things I once thought were out of reach, all because Shasta encouraged me to take initiative and to take risks. But what's made my experience even more meaningful is the community I found through cross country. When I first joined, I was quiet and unsure of myself, but my teammates and coach welcomed me with open arms and pushed me to grow both on and off the track. Cross country taught me perseverance, teamwork, and how to build a life outside of academics, something I had always struggled with before. Summit Shasta has given me balance, confidence, and direction. For that reason, I ask you again to vote yes for the renewal of Summit Shasta so that future students can experience the same growth, community, and opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Marcus Villarreal.
Good evening, Jefferson Union High School District School Board members and Superintendent Presta. My name is Marcus Villarreal, and I'm a senior at Summit Shasta High School. I'm here today to ask you to vote yes for a 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta. Shasta's renewal deeply matters to me because of the sense of family and community that not only I, but every Shasta student and alum has felt during their time there. It really does feel like a family outside of your family or a home outside of your home. The mentor time that we as students spend 100% of our first hours at school is a breath of fresh air from any stresses we may feel. I know for a fact that my mentor and mentor group are some of my closest on-campus confidants, supporters, and friends. This community has had a profound impact on my life and mindset, teaching me the proud core characteristics of respect, responsibility, curiosity, courage, compassion, and integrity. Additionally, as a senior in high school, the college process can be very strenuous and challenging. However, I'm proud to say that the family I have at Shasta has made the college application process very smooth. Whether the support comes from the unique weekly webinars or the reassuring words of my mentor or the calming support of my friends, Shasta is a place that will help you with everything. However, if you don't believe me, then you will surely believe the statistics. Shasta's average SAT score is 1,200. We're in the top 200 high schools in California. 100% of Shasta students have taken at least one AP exam, and the graduation rate has surpassed 96% every single year. It is for these reasons that I'm asking you today to vote yes on a 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta. Once again, my name is Marcus Villarreal, and thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Kaylin Sigwa.
Good evening, Jefferson Union High School District Board members and Superintendent Presta. I am Kaylin Sigwa, and I'm currently a senior at Summit Shasta. Summit Shasta's renewal is important to me because of the vast opportunities Shasta presents me with. I am here today to ask you to vote yes on the 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta. I chose Summit Shasta because of the school-funded college trips and project-based learning. We need Summit Shasta because the school cares about the future of the children and giving them a jump start. This includes college trips, where the school brings students to a variety of campuses in California, including UCs and CSUs. This is to expose students to these colleges and a glimpse of and explore what they may be looking for in a college. I knew that I visited UCLA in my junior year and got to get a glimpse of what I was looking for in a college. I knew that I wanted to attend a UC for their rigorous coursework, interesting campus life, and a variety of majors that included my intended major, which is nursing. They also use project-based learning, where students do not use only standardized tests every unit to exhibit their learning, but are also able to more creatively express their ideas through project-based learning. My favorite project in the past 3 years was doing art and math class through the use of equations. We would use Desmos to input our own equations to create art, and it pushed me to think more critically and in-depth of the concepts I have learned in math, while being able to freely exhibit my skills in my own accord. The students of the area have consistently been pushed forward to their future because of Summit Shasta. This is special to me because they have set me up for success in the future. And by pushing me to prepare and decide what I would like in the future and generate my own ideas that I could apply into my concrete next step into college. That is why I am here to ask you again today to vote yes for a 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Hans Lim.
Good evening, Jefferson Union High School District School Board members and Superintendent Presta. My name is Hans Lim, and I'm currently a junior at Summit Shasta High School. Summit Shasta's charter renewal matters to me as a student who's been attending for the past 3 years. That has helped me mature on a personal level, thanks to our supportive teachers who've been actively building one-to-one relationships with their student. Every student and teacher I meet daily are reliable, resourceful, and convenient to someone like me who was once a shy and timid student to an actively curious one, and lets us learn more about my future beyond academic classes to prove that it is indeed possible to get another step into our future careers. I'm here to ask you today for a 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta. One major step into our careers comes from our teachers who assist us in our mentoring program. During freshman orientation, our students are assigned with a mentor alongside several of their peers and stick with that same group for the next 4 years of their lives. Our mentors frequently check up on each of their mentees to check on their high school life on a thorough level, effectively following us through our concrete next steps. Furthermore, I fully appreciate my mentors and mentees for their efforts to support my high school career through several other factors, such as weekly webinars, which guide us through the college application process and prepare us for the AP and SAT exams, and prove to us that it is not indeed a hard chore, but an event in which we'll be readily prepared to take alongside all of our other peers. Lastly, there is one more thing in the mentoring program called Circle, which happens weekly and lets us open up to other people. Basically, what Shasta students take away from Circles encourage everyone here to freely express their thoughts without getting any judgment from their peers and create an overall welcoming environment. And I am once again asking you to vote yes on a renewal chart for Summit Shasta. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Kara Ho.
Good evening, Jefferson Union High School District School Board members and Superintendent Presta. My name is Kara Ho, and I'm a 9th grade student at Summit Shasta High School. This renewal matters to me because without a renewal, students that are currently in middle school won't have the same opportunities for high school as I do currently. Without Summit Shasta, I wouldn't have the friends and memories I have today. I'm here to ask you to vote yes for a 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta. I chose this school because of the different opportunities that it provides for us, such as mentor groups. When I first came to Shasta, I was worried that I wouldn't make any friends, but I was wrong. My mentors encourage everyone to get to know each other, and by the end of the day, I had made so many new friends. Although work is a big part of school, my mentors make sure that we have fun community-building activities like Circle, which builds a safe community and trust. Lastly, Ethnic Studies is a new course being taught at our school. I'm enjoying the current project we're working on. It's called The American Me, which stands for Memory and Experience. It has already encouraged me to learn more about my family's history. Before Ethnic Studies, I didn't take interest in learning about history and other cultures, but this class isn't a regular history class.
My teacher, Ms. Kroom, has taught me about learning other cultures is important because it helps us emphasize and understand the challenges we have all faced in becoming American. When she asked us as a class how many of us had heard about our own cultures, little to none of us raised our hands. She explained that this was the exact goal of ethnic studies, to teach everyone about who they are, how they got here, and the strength and resilience it took for that to happen. Thank you, and please vote yes for a 5-year renewal for Summit Shasta.
And those are all of our comment cards.
Thank you, everybody. At this point, I think we'd like to open it up to our board and our student advisors up here. If you guys have any questions or comments on the presentation, or you'd like to say anything.
I have a question. Could one of the speakers, that preferably the students, could you guys explain to me more what circle is and what you do in that circle? Whoever, it's up to you. Yeah, please. Thank you.
Basically, Circle is a weekly activity that is done within our mentor groups. What you do is have your room go around in a circle. So during this time, you'll be able to express your thoughts, how you're feeling that day, and one thing to describe yourself. However, certain students are assigned in some circle work projects, which is basically a prompt on your personal life. So, like, for example, what could you have done better in your life, and you explain that story. But however, as I said earlier, it lets you open up to your other mentees and you get to know more about them every week. Yeah, the mentoring program ensures that your mentees will bond a strong formation alongside your mentors.
Thank you. No
Thank
further
you, Han.
questions.
Okay. Thank you, Eva. Shuming, any questions or comments?
I have no questions.
Okay, awesome. Dominic, would you like to add anything or have any questions?
It sounds like a really cool educational experience. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, moving over to our board. Andy?
First of all, it's always good to hear students speak. That's, we're here because for students. And so kudos to each of you for your courage to come up and speak on behalf of your school. That's powerful. So thank you. And also to all of the parents and community members here in the room, thank you for coming out here in support of the program. I mean, it says a lot when people come out and to advocate for something they truly believe in. And it's something, that's evidenced by the way these students have presented themselves and presented the successes of the program. So that's powerful. So thank you all for being here. Your passion is outstanding. And one last thing also, and congratulations to the seniors. I think that's pretty cool that you're all going to hit submit tomorrow at the same time. Yeah. You're not struggling to do your applications over Thanksgiving weekend, which I know many seniors do, like mine, back in the day. With regards to the presentation, my one comment there would be, I recognize there's a time, you're stressed for time in terms of the presentation, but it would have been nice to have seen some of the disaggregated data that you present in the petition as well, because I think there's some really good data that's very positive for the program. That would have been nice to have seen on a PowerPoint and to be able to ask that. So when you're back here next year at this time, I would love to see that. So that's a clue as to where my vote is headed, folks. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Andy.
Really, really beautiful to look out and see the room full. I wish every board meeting was like this. This tells us that the community is engaged, and in the day and age we're living in right now, it's all about community, community, community. This is a testament to that. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up for yourself. My fellow nurse over there, go get them. But one advice I will give you is that the current statistics for new grad nurses, you probably should read up on that. And my challenge to you, coming from a program that is very relying on community and really, supporting each other and being there for each other is think of ways that you're going to come out as a new grad nurse and support your fellow nurses because we need nurses. And I think that also gives a clue where I'm leaning.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Shasta has always been a great partner with us. And I agree with Mr. Lee about having the data because that'd be very valuable to put in your PowerPoint. And I'm also interested in the demographics for you to share. I'm certain that it matches the demographic of the school district, but it just would be good to see on the PowerPoint. So impressive with the students, so impressed with the students and our alumni who came before us tonight, the parents. Shasta has always been engaged. Always been engaged. It is a community, and I see some of my friends here, which tells me that the little ones who are the little sisters, the little siblings of my child's and her friends are now at Shasta, and so some of my best friends, their kids grew up at Shasta. So. I do, when I hear the students talk about how it's a sense of family, community that you have, and I love the mentoring, that there's no chance that the students will slip through the cracks. It will happen, possibly, but there's someone there, it sounds like, someone you trust to pick you up. So, I'm super interested in the expeditions program. So I just want to know a little bit, maybe a student can come up and answer. If you pick out, this is where you pick out your own pathway. This is how you find out what your interest is. And someone said filmmaking. So how would you, how, because you don't, how do you build out the curriculum in the expeditions program so that you can find out more about what you want to do?
So we are basically given an opportunity to choose so they make us rank out which courses we would like, and we have a vast variety of them. For filmmaking, what we would like to say is we partner up with a lot of different programs outside of school as well. Okay. I think the trustee from Thornton, Thornton mentioned outdoor ed. Next week, we are doing our expeditions program, and I am going to be an outdoor ed cabin leader. So you're basically given so many choices to choose from, and though you may not get the one that you wanted, this is a chance for you to try new things, because most times when you're a high school student in a typical high school, it's hard for you to go out and find new opportunities. And, we're basically stuck with doing, we have schoolwork, this, that. You don't really have time to explore new things. And I think expeditions is really beneficial for all of us as high school students, since we're given so many different opportunities, so many different variety of internships. We even have things like ceramics, if you're interested in art, fundamentals of art. So we have anything and everything that you could be interested in. So I think that's definitely
great.
A pro for us.
Okay. Yeah. So it's partnerships outside of Shasta that you work on. Okay. Thank you very much.
I have maybe one question. I'm curious about expeditions, and wondering how you get choices. Are they pre-designed? Do the students design and the staff choose them out? Or
sure. So yeah, I can speak to the development of our expeditions program. Essentially, we run it like a school within a school. And while the expeditions programs at each of the 10 summit schools are different, we share some of the same vendors and opportunities. So it's almost like we're part of a network that gets to vet interesting partners and then sort of benefit from that. So we spend a lot of time thinking about what that catalog should contain. We take our cues from our students. We have over 45 clubs on campus that are student-sponsored, student-run. And so the fact that we have 3 healthcare clubs means that our expeditions program needs to provide multiple healthcare pathways for our students. So that's anything from a new program we're piloting this year, where in 9th and 10th grade, they're learning about different medical pathways through some online coursework and then in-person placements at different medical facilities in the region, to then, I think Kaylin may have done an internship at the VA. Did you do that? Well, we have internship opportunities for students to experience what it's like to be in different medical settings. So we do, and Shasta does have, a different sort of feel than our other summit schools based on what our students are interested in. So we spend the whole year trying to vet who these vendors are. Those partnerships are very local for us. Many of our partnerships are here on the peninsula, here in Daly City. So it allows students to interact with employers, community members, business owners, in ways that give them experience that only people who are non-educators can give them. And so students will choose usually 1 or 2 expeditions for the year, and then for 2 weeks in November, 2 weeks in February, 2 weeks in April, they'll follow that pathway and culminate in some kind of big expedition, performance, experience, where we invite the whole community in at the end of the year. So over their 4 years, they could have anywhere from 4 to 8 different experiences.
So that starts in 9th grade.
Yes. So it's every student. Yeah.
So is it, just to follow up on that, is it possible to be, say, halfway through and realize, oh, I'm not enjoying this pathway? What happens then?
So we're not so pathway dependent right now. In fact, we encourage students to try all kinds of things. So, whether that's arts, robotics, or something that's more career oriented, every student working with their mentor actually frames that out and makes adjustments as they go along the way. So just because you may have thought you wanted to be a nurse as a 9th grader, this is the purpose of the program, right? Maybe you do a placement and you realize, ooh, this really isn't for me. There's all these other opportunities for you to try out different things.
Thank you. I think the rest of what I have to say are comments. I encourage anyone who gets a chance to play in a rock band, if only because of the organizational thinking that's required to play music and the freedom of rock and roll to say what you have to say. I think it's extremely powerful. Thank you for bringing students. The energy in the room is always better when there are students here. And I think it's even better than that when families are here too. I congratulate you for showing up for each other. Other than the fact that students go there and they emerge with degrees, I don't know much about what happens at Shasta, but it appears to be something good. Thank you very much.
As I've heard before, it's always kind of hard to go last after everybody said a lot of nice things. So I've been thinking a lot, trying to rephrase my questions and rethink things and what I want to say to you guys. One thing that's very evident, and before I get started with that, I want to thank the students for getting up and speaking tonight. You guys did great. You guys really showed your passion tonight, and where your convictions are with, your school and your community around you. And I want to thank your parents and your supporters behind you guys, because it really shows that with good support, you guys have that confidence to get up here and do this, right? And really advocate for yourselves and for, what you think is right. And I think I want you guys to remember this too, outside of what we're doing tonight. Always advocate for your community, not just here at school, but outside of school as well. Be there for each other. Continue to do what you're doing. I think it's really evident that Shasta has a great support system. And the mentorship thing is, I think, a great thing for kids. especially a lot of kids that don't have the opportunity to have somebody to mentor them through this stage in life. Because it's not easy. You know, you guys going through a lot of stuff, changes, and, you know, trying to figure out your next steps in life. So it's tough. But, you know, like everybody else said, man, you just, I think you could kind of see we support what's going on just from, what you guys have all been hearing this evening and from everything that we've seen from you guys. I mean, I think all we want as a community in whole, not just as a board or whatever, we want our kids to be taken care of. We want opportunities for you guys, no matter where it comes from. So, having those opportunities like Shasta's given you guys is important to us. So, we support that kind of thing. And thank you for your presentation. One question. Have you been able to track how the kids are doing after they get into their four-year colleges, how many finish out and their careers afterwards?
Yes, actually. So our alumni database is emergent. This will be our 7th graduating class this year. Because we have such a strong mentoring system where the mentor also follows the student for, 28 kids, one mentor for 4 years, the mentor hands them their diploma. That is the kind of glue that keeps them coming back. So our students do actually complete college in the 4-year or 5-year span at a higher rate than they would if they came from a traditional school. I can, of course, provide more of those hard statistics for you as you're doing your consideration. And I'm pretty sure it's contained within our charter petition as well, but happy to provide more data for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great. Appreciate that. Of course, yeah. All right, moving on to Ms. Tony Presta.
Thank you. I was nudging him saying, I want to say something before you end. So a few things. I want to actually make a comment about the 4-year college data because my memory, if it serves me, I think at the beginning, the data wasn't as good as you hoped. And you made some changes to your program and to what you were doing. So I just applaud that. That's very good. That's what we all try to do that, right? And so I just wanted to make kind of different from the rest of the comments. Thank you. And Ren Miletsky for being such good partners over the years. They came to me very early in this process last year and then got the preliminary petition in, I think more than a month before it was due so that I had a chance to, because it's pretty big. And so that I was able to review it. And then I got back to them with some comments and they made changes. And frankly, it took me a while to get through it. So I thank them for their patience and actually address some of the questions that I had. So I just want to call a few things out. I always want, and the board in the past we feel it's really important that the Shasta student body really mirrors JUHSD's student body. And so I asked questions about, how do you ensure that your student body reflects the diversity of our surrounding community? And I received some really good answers, so I just want to call them out. Like one of the things that you're doing is an annual review of your student demographics across key subgroups. So English learners, students with disabilities, students experiencing homelessness or in foster care, low-income students, and others. And that informs Shasta's additional outreach or program adjustments as needed to maintain a student population that's inclusive and representative. So I just want to call that out because that didn't come out in the conversation, but I appreciate that. We appreciate that. And that you're giving opportunities to all of the students in our district. So thank you. I think you probably can tell by our comments that we think Shasta is a good partner. And we thank you for being here tonight.
I have one additional comment, and it's just about my best friend's daughter is one of the first graduating class from Shasta. Graduated from college, married, living in Hawaii. They just had a baby. So fantastic. I mean, it's community. It's their community right here.
Is she in a rock and roll band?
No. Okay.
I just want to add one last thing. You know, I'm completing my 10th year on the board, and what I have seen actually is the maturation of the program over the years, and it's really evident by tonight very specifically, and also in the way this petition was written, because it does, as Superintendent Pressa said, you are addressing a lot of the issues that are important to us as a board when it comes to the subgroups. And that's important. And the other piece of it, it's really clear that Shasta now is an integral part of the larger community here. So, I mean, you know, I've spoken certainly to a lot of community members who, you know, are looking at, when they're looking at sending their kids to high school, they're looking at the entire breadth of the district offerings, the traditional schools as well as Shasta. So it's just part of the conversation these days.
I would like to make a comment. Okay. As a student who does not go to Shasta, I go to Jefferson. Last year we had a transfer. He came from Shasta, and he started out as a really good student. He played sports, kept up with his grades, went to class. And then this year it seemed like he had a gradual decrease in how much he was going to class. He got kicked off of a team. He doesn't keep up with his grades, and he's like not as good as a student as he was when he did before he came to Jeff. So I did some research, and I found out that like Shasta does offer really good classes and sets their kids up for success. So from some of the notes that I took, I was really impressed with the fact that kids take 5+ AP classes, as I think AP classes prepare students for college more than any other classes. I love AP classes too. I also love, one of the students, I believe, mentioned that they visited a college in Los Angeles. And I think that is so impressive, because I don't think any of the other JUHS schools do that. I know my school doesn't. We only visit colleges in SF, it gets boring at times, because I think all the students have gone to those colleges. So I think that's impressive. And one more reason why Shasta should definitely get a renewal. And also, I find it impressive how graduates go to top colleges like Davis, which is very hard to get in, Berkeley, Cal Poly, and Cornell. That is very impressive. And for all the students that spoke up, I wish you guys the best of luck. And I think Shasta should get a renewal.
Thank you, Ava. Okay. Are we all good? Oh, Dominic, go for it.
Okay. Hearing about your guys' expedition program sorry, I'm gonna move the mic. Hearing about your guys' expedition program is really cool. It kind of is similar to something that we have at Oceana Interim, and it's kind of similar, but a little kind of scaled down. It's only like 1 week of the year, but it's really cool, and it's a really important part of Oceana. And so I assume it's a really important part of Shasta from what you guys talked about. So I can only imagine how kind of important that is. And it's really cool to hear from all of you about the offerings that you guys have and how it's like impacted your high school experience. So I applaud that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Everybody good? Okay. You guys are more than welcome to stick around.
You need to close out. You need to close.
Sorry. Yeah.
Public
Okay.
hearing.
We're gonna. My bad. I'm jumping ahead here a little bit, but yeah, we're gonna close out on the.
Just say close public.
We're closing public hearing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right. Moving on to 15B1. Student Services Board Policy.
I would suggest just taking a quick pause while everybody exits.
Okay.
Just wait. Yeah.
It's hot in here.
This heater was off right away. It's not from the heater, it's from the people.
Huh? Oh, I'm cooking. Huh? You ready to go? I was going to go earlier. Okay. Everybody ready to move on? Okay. All right.
Yes.
Moving on to 15 15B1 Board Policy 0450 Comprehensive Safety Plan. That's going to be Ms. Karine Baca.
Good evening, everyone. I am speaking on behalf of Ms. Basuino. So the first board policy is Board Policy 0450 on Comprehensive Safety Plan. This has been updated to include that tactical response portion can be reviewed by the board in closed session, and that this portion is not publicly disclosed. It also includes reviewing the plan with both law enforcement and fire. And I welcome any questions, or I don't know if you want me to go through all.
Yeah, you can just go through the next ones, yeah.
So the next one is Board Policy 1250 on visitors/outsider. It is updated to include that all visitors shall register with the office and that all visitors shall behave properly, and that the principal shall request individuals causing a disruption to immediately leave the school grounds. And then finally, Board Policy 6173, Education for Homeless Children. It is updated to include to offer annual training to district employees providing services to students, and to administer housing questionnaires and to report homeless data to the California Department of Education. And this is for discussion, and next time it will go under consent for approval.
Thank you, Ms. Baca. Is there any questions or comments about these three board policies?
No.
Updates? Okay. Well, moving on to 15C1, Board Policy Update 4112.2, Certification. Ms. Dana Lujan?
Good evening, everyone. The first board policy this evening is Board Policy 4112.2, which updates some language about less than fully prepared teachers and just requirements that we currently follow, but now our board policy actually matches what the CTC, the Credentialing Commission, recommends. So we're just trying to make sure our policies match our practices and the Ed Code.
Cool. You mind just working through the next two?
I'm happy to do so.
Thank you.
The next board policy is Board Policy 4113.5, which is working remotely board policy. We actually don't have a board policy for working remotely. This actually helps us in the event, God forbid, there is another pandemic. But should we have something like that happen, we would have board policy to guide us. And then the final board policy this evening from Human Resources is Board Policy 4114, transfers. This actually codifies our current contract language with regard to voluntary certificated transfers and involuntary certificated transfers. So it just gives us a little bit more strength in the, in the event that we have transfers.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on these three?
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
In this forum, what's a transfer?
Great wondering. So when we have a vacancy, so basically a teacher has retired or, is going to not returning, then we post the position, which means internally only. So our current teachers have priority to take that position over external candidates. So that would be the voluntary transfer process. The involuntary transfer process is something that we would implement in the event that we have a vacancy, we're overstaffed at one site, we've exhausted the voluntary process, and so we're going to tell someone we are moving you.
I knew that.
Thank you, Ms. Lujan. All right. 15D, our business services. Let's see, we have Board Policy 3311. Let's see, I just skipped that one. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's all it says, 3311 bids. Ms. Tina Van Raphorst.
Thank you, President Gallegos. Good evening, members of the board. I bring you 3 policy updates tonight. I'm assuming you would like me to go through all 3 of them.
Yes, please.
Okay. These are based on recommendations from the California School Boards Association. Board Policy 3311 regarding bids provides updates and clarification as to how competitive bids may be awarded. how a bidder would go about protesting an award they think is non-compliant, and when bidding is not required. The next one, Board Policy 3312 regarding contracts, has been updated to clarify how we avoid conflict of interests by district employees and board members when entering into contracts with vendors and service providers. And then lastly, Board Policy 3280 regarding sale or lease of district-owned property deletes outdated provisions and clarifies the role of the Department of Housing and Community Development, also known as HCD. If there are no concerns or recommendations for adjustments, these policies will come back for approval on the consent agenda at our next regular board meeting.
Just a question on BP 3280. Is this doesn't have the impact of AB 130 from June 30th, does it? Because I know there's been some changes with the Surplus Land Act as a result of that. Doesn't seem like the policies picked up that yet.
Yeah, they seem to be separate in my reading.
Okay.
But if there are changes that need to be made, then CSBA will provide us with further updates.
Yeah, I kind of figured they hadn't given us that guidance yet. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions or comments? Good. Okay. Thank you, Tina. Moving on to our action items, 16A1, Executive Director of Daly City Youth Health Center Employee Agreement, Ms. Dana Lujan.
Good evening, everyone. The item before you is an employee agreement for the position of Executive Director of Daly City Youth Health Center. Putting this position on a contract promotes longevity and also is a common practice for higher level positions. An important thing to note with this particular position is that it is not funded by our general fund. The Daly City Youth Health Center actually is able to fully fund this position.
Okay, now there's an important distinction there for sure. Appreciate the heads up on that. Are there any questions or comments here on this action item? If there's no questions or comments, it is recommended the board approve this contract.
So moved.
Second.
You say second?
Yeah, I did. You did second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Unless there's any consideration of future agenda items, I'd like to call for motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I bring forth an idea for the consideration of future agenda items? Possibly? Okay. I could barely hear.
Yeah, but the meeting's adjourned, but
No.
you can tell me.
Okay, it's just some things.
Not officially, you can tell.
Okay, it's just some things that I have noticed that students are not really liking at Jefferson. Like